My name is Nicole Thompson, and I am the Vice President of Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Engagement at Becton Dickinson, otherwise known as BD. I have been in this role for about 3 years now, but I have been with BD for 20 years. I'm sorry, 10 years. I've been with BD for 10 years, but have a 20 plus year career in HR. And I've spent the majority of my career as an HR business partner, actually. So, really working more as a generalist with C suite executives and helping them to build high performing teams and organizations over a variety of industries. And so, at specific points in my career, I've had the opportunity to pivot from generalist work to focusing more on the COE space or centers of excellence. And so was really excited when I had the opportunity to take accountability for leading ID&E at BD.
Outstanding. So what would be one of your roles or one of your most fulfilling aspects of your job?
Oh, Mona, it's a great question. If I'm 100% honest with you, I really think it is helping people to find their passion, and to be their best self at work, right? I think we all can appreciate when we come home from work feeling like we've had a great day at work, that we've made an impact, whether that be in delivering for an organization or a team, whether that be giving someone career counseling and advice and helping them to think about how they advance their career. And so, I can tell you in my 20 plus year professional career, I don't think I could ever love being in HR as a profession any more than I do now.
That's excellent. It sounds as though it's a family both at work and at home. So that really helps
Absolutely.
out quite a bit. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but the issue that you're going on is featuring a lot of Wonder Women. And it's called the Wonder Woman issue. It's been our signature issue for many years. And I read your bio and said, wow, she's a fantastic, awesome Wonder Woman. And we're thrilled to be able to feature you in this issue. And I'm just curious to know, who are your mentors? And in your eyes, what embodies the essence of a Wonder Woman? And maybe if you want to mention any in your company as well.
Thanks so much for the question. So I think I've been really fortunate in my career where I've had the opportunity to work for several Wonder Woman. And I think it is what set them apart from other leaders that I've had the privilege of working with, was their commitment and to not only mentor me, but to also advocate and sponsor me. And when I think about common threads that connect all of these women together, I think that they were all fearless servant leaders, that they had a strong propensity to put others before they put themselves, that they used their privilege to not only break down barriers, but also to create career opportunities for me and, for others. And also really taking an active role in driving equity and just creating for opportunity, particularly for those that look different than them. And so I consider myself to be really privileged to have worked for several leaders throughout my career over a variety of companies.
Outstanding. And it's obvious. I mean, with you, the helm there, and the other women that are in those types of positions. And that's probably one of the reasons why you're one of the top diverse employers. And I'm sure there's many other reasons as well in our list. And I just want to ask you what that actually means to you to be recognized, as a company that is a top diverse employer.
I think it's really important for us, Mona, particularly at a time like this, where you find that ID&E commitments and goals are facing increased scrutiny and legal challenge. And I
Sure.
think it also serves as a great reminder that companies like BD, despite the difficult climate that we're operating in today, remain committed to this space, and that diversity, equity, and inclusion remain core fabrics of who we are, and how we lead, how we support our associates. And so I think, being recognized just is a great acknowledgement of all the hard work that goes on in our organization, and it reinforces the importance of why we do what it is that we do.
Outstanding. I absolutely agree. As a leader in the DEI space, how do you envision shaping the future landscape of diversity and inclusion, both with BD and in the broader industry?
That's a great question. So, BD actually has a 2030 plus ESG strategy. And as a part of that strategy, we have a pillar specifically that focuses on having both a healthy workforce as well as communities. And so, as a part of that pillar, not only do we focus on inclusion, but we also focus on the safety and well being of not only our associates, but also contributing to community health, right, in the communities that we serve and that we operate. And so we believe it's really important that we provide our workforce with the tools and the resources that they need to be able to manage their physical, mental, and financial health. We also think it's important to provide our associates with training and development opportunities, as well as reskilling strategies, so that they always feel like they are bringing skill sets that are relevant to today's workforce. And then we also foster a culture that's really centered around safety and well-being. And so I think all of those facets not only contribute to our workforce, right, and the value proposition that we're able to provide our associates, but it also impacts the communities where we live, work, and the patients that we serve. And on a more macro level, also makes a tremendous impact in the medical technology community as a whole.
It just seems as though BD offers so many wonderful different initiatives. And, you mentioned something about the community and the well-being. And BD refers and has a employee resource group, but you call it more of an associated resource group. Could you elaborate on the purpose behind the groups, how many exist within it, who participates, any notable successes that you have?
Absolutely. So at BD, as I mentioned, we're focused on fostering an inclusive workforce and workplace. And our associate resource groups play a strategic role in helping us to drive our ID&E strategy. We actually have 9 associate resource groups across the company. Each is company sponsored and associate led. And we have over 6,600 associates that are actually members of our associate resource groups from all levels across the organization. And our ARGs actually span across 54 countries. And one of the reasons why I think our ARGs have just had such a tremendous impact on our associates is because they serve as the culture champions within the organization, and membership is open to everyone that's interested. So you don't have to have the specific lived experience of a particular associate resource group in order to be a member. Our executive leadership team also personally sponsors each of our 9 associate resource groups. And each year, the leaders of our associate resource groups have the opportunity to present the previous year's accomplishments as well as the current year's goals to the executive leadership team so that they continue to provide coaching and support as well as visibility to those leaders in achieving those goals. And so over the last 2 years, we've seen membership in our ARGs grow by 50%.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's outstanding. 9 different groups
Mm-hmm.
amongst, wow, that is very active. So I know there's many good reasons why someone should join or get hired by BD. Could you elaborate on some more? Because I know that you guys are not only good at recruiting, but also retention. And that's something that is probably more important than recruiting. I mean, you can recruit all day, but if you can't retain the individuals, that says a lot. But I know that you guys have some great things that you could share with us about that, please.
Yeah,
Let us.
absolutely. So I think it first starts with our employee value proposition. So we believe that at BD, we are the people that give possibilities purpose, right? That's the way we think about the work in which we do internally. And so as a result of that, we feel that our associates are our greatest asset. At the beginning of our time together, you talked about how it feels like family at work. And I would say that
Yes.
that is very much true at BD. We have some of the best talent in the med tech industry collaborating with one another to advance the world of health and positively impact lives around the globe. And it's our approach to inclusion that really allows us and positions us to be able to solve the world's complex health challenges. BD is an organization that welcomes individuals of differing backgrounds and experiences, as well as perspectives, ideas, and thinking. We think that it is the diversity of our workforce that allows us to be such a competitive and meaningful organization. And so we focus on our associates holistically and what we offer to them. So in addition to us having a well-being strategy where we focus on the social and financial and emotional aspects of needs that our associates have, we also have a career growth circle that we use to make sure that we're providing support to associates in terms of their learning and development and career growth opportunities.
Fantastic. I know a little bit about you because I have a dear friend in Texas that has been with you for I think 10 years. And whenever I see her and I go to a conference and I call, she has her family. She goes, I have my work family and I have my home family. And that just says a lot. And I think she really flourishes and I don't think she'll look for another job because she has that connection for both. And that just says a lot about BD. So I know, personally from someone else who just speaks so highly of your organization as well. And I think it starts from the top all the way
It,
down.
it
I mean,
absolutely
it
does.
doesn't just happen. It's got to be from the
It's
top down.
intentional. No, it's absolutely intentional. This is the third company that I've worked for in my career, and it's by far the best company that I've worked for. And often when you talk with associates that have recently joined us, right? So you talk to them within that kind of 90-day onboarding period. You one of the questions I love to ask them is, how does your experience compare to, what you perceived it would be, when interviewing for us? And I consistently hear that it's exactly the same, that the culture that they felt, that warmth, that openness, that transparency, it's a consistent experience. And the other thing that people cite that they really appreciate is that you can literally reach out to any leader in the organization and ask for time, and they're willing to give it, regardless of what their level or role is.
That's outstanding. So I have one final question, and that is one of my favorite questions. Of course, besides everything that we've spoken about, if there's anything else that you'd like our readers to know about you, your team, or the company, please let us know. And share with me a motto that you have. You'll always hear me say, moving mountains, let's move some mountains, we're moving mountains. If there's always a motto that somebody has, or whenever I hang up off a Teams meeting, I'll say to my team, give me some good news. There's just always, is there something that you have that you always say that people know, oh, that's just Nicole?
Twofold. One, I think the last thing that I'd love to leave you with is just the level of commitment in our organization around creating a space where everyone feels welcomed and valued, and that there's an opportunity to contribute. I think that is the core of what we refer to as the BD way, right? Our culture, and that is actually something that's super special, right? It sounds like it should be commonplace, but having had the opportunity to work for multiple companies, I really do appreciate where you can find a place to work that doesn't feel like work, right? And that you're a part of something that's bigger. In terms of a motto, I think for me, it's live fearlessly. Always be confident, standing in your own voice. Be confident in being true to who it is that you are at your core, right? Never willing to compromise yourself for anyone.
I love it. Well, I thank you so much, Nicole. This has been an outstanding interview. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to meeting you. I'm hoping to get out to Houston for the National Sales Network and say hello to you. I heard you might be going to one of these conferences that I'm at, so we would love to actually, meet you and say hello. But again, thank you so much for the time and the interview. We'll put this together for you, and I absolutely wish you and the whole organization the best.
Thank you so much, Mona. I really appreciate the time. It was a pleasure to meet you as well.
Meet you.